Welcome to the Empower Me Show with Pam Bright. This show is all about honoring you as a spiritual being, having a human experience. You are here for a reason, and it's no mistake that you are here on Earth right now. Spirit has guided you to this very moment in time, so you could hear the messages Pam is about to share with you. She is a multidimensional healer, light language channel, transformation coach, wife, and mother, committed to helping you discover the tools and practices to empower you to live the best life you can. You get to choose the spirit path you take. You can connect to the spiritual guidance already all around you. Get ready to live a fully empowered life. This is the Empower Me Show.
Back to the Empower Me Show. My name's Pam Bright. This is my husband, David Buck. And he has joined me today because I want to tell you about our program that we created called the Full Body System Wellness Program. I think it's really important for us to really get clear on who we are as spiritual beings having human experiences. And we believe that this program that we created can really help you to own that experience that you've chosen in this lifetime, to really honor who you are as a human being and honor your spiritual path. And so with that, I'd really like us to start with some grounding. David, did you have something you wanted to share before I begin with that?
Well, what I want to say leads into the grounding, because to ground is to be connected to both the earth, yourself, the center of who you are at your core, the spiritual guidance that you have available. It really is one of those terms that can mean for you what it specifically means for you to be connected to what's important to you to help guide you along your way. And that's a big part about what we try to do with the program, is include lots of things that you can do, but it comes back to center to help you come back to center. So, and this is a good example of grounding, as Pam is about to share.
Yes. And when I say grounding, it's really, it's also been termed as earthing. Earthing is when you go out into the world and actually put your feet on the ground, feel the dirt on your feet, the grasses, the essence of the earth. And because I live in a city that's very populated with cement and structures, I don't go outside very much. But when I do, I really connect to the earth as much as I can as I'm out there. But when I'm here in my home, my drum is a great way to connect to the heartbeat of ourselves and the earth. So as you hear that, you can just simply connect into that sound and have it slow down like it's the heartbeat of the earth, as the Native Americans have taught us with the drum. So just go ahead and feel that in your body system. And if you have a drum like this is called a frame drum. You can simply use it to connect yourself. And I'm doing that right on my own body. And I can feel the vibration of that drum right on my body system, which reminds me of the connection to the spirit world, to the energetic world, to that part of me that is more connected to everything around me than my physical vessel. just like that, you can ground very easily and feel your essence getting calmer, feel your essence getting more peaceful, feel yourself connected from earth to sky and all of the spirit beings around you, the angelics, the crystal beings, the earth tones. There's some angelic, and each other.
Well, let me share what came up with me even during the short time that you were drumming there. What I want to say to you is that you are not alone. So if you are connect to something that we say, something that you see, something that you hear, like drumming, the chances are that there are many other people who connect in that same way. And Pam and I both have been to many drumming circles. If you've never been to one, I recommend it. You can just Google drum circle in your area, see if you can find one. And chances are, if you're called to go there, you might want to make a regular habit of it, because when you've got 20 or 30 people standing or sitting around in a circle, all drumming to the same rhythm, it's amazing and will transport you somewhere else.
Yes, it will. So in this time of this pandemic, you may feel more comfortable doing a Zoom, which I'm sure there are Zoom drum circles. I've just not looked into that, but everyone is doing virtual everything right now in our world, which really connects us, but it also allows us a different experience. So I invite you within yourself, especially in this particular episode, to look at what regular habits have you gotten so used to that you forget that there's another way of doing things. So if you're used to the same old thing all the time, I invite you to try on something new, something that you've not experienced before, something you've been curious about, something that really resonates with your heart, something that you hear yourself going, someday I think I'd like to try that. Well, guess what? Today could be that someday.
Yeah, when is someday?
So I think someday is today. I think someday is right now. So I have some things that go on in my head that go someday. I'll do that. So today is your someday. I invite you to take something else on new that you may not have thought you could ever do before.
Yeah, there's a wonderful phrase, and it's been said, but somebody must have said it first. I don't know who it was, but it goes, if not you, who? If not now, when? And it's a good reminder to yourself to check against, well, how long are you going to continue to put up with the things that don't work in your life? And that's essentially what we wanted to do, is create some sort of a program that could help you create habits, help you get unstuck from those places that it's so easy to get stuck in.
Yeah. So as human beings, we have habitual ways of being that don't necessarily serve us. We've just gotten used to them because somebody said sometime in our lives, in this lifetime, that we should do that, right? Whether it was our parents or our teachers or our landlords or our children, even.
Or social media.
Social media said, this is the way that life is supposed to be. And if you don't believe the way that I believe, then I'm going to outcast you, right? The church, unfortunately, in a lot of religions has done that as well. So we have this hierarchy, this above you kind of mentality, like I'm above you because I believe this way. It's a crazy mentality to have in our world that's supposed to be all one to function, but we're divided. And so in the Empower Me show, we really attempt and try. I don't really like try because I think that there's a better way to use that word, but I attempt. That's a better way for me. I attempt to bring together all of the different ways of being that a human being in this world might experience life. might be you that's experiencing life divided, might be you that has a different way of thinking than your best friend. It might be you that thinks that if I don't believe this way that you believe, that I'm off my rocker, that I'm deformed, that I'm defected, that I'm somehow less than you. Guess what? You can change that perspective. You can change that belief system. You can change that action step that you're taking right now that divides you from your neighbor.
There's plenty of accesses to this next thing I'm going to say, but hopefully the simplest way is that if you come from a place of that there's something wrong with me, there's something wrong with them, there's something wrong with this, whatever this is, start to replace those thoughts with there's nothing wrong here. And then you can cancel that out, get to a place of peace about it, look for something else, something different. And it's not a one-time thing. This is a continual process. It's one of the reasons we came up with the program is to, well, you don't just go through the program like you read the book and suddenly you have all the epiphanies you ever need and you're fine from there on.
La, la, la. The light has come.
It's about building new habits consistently. So we got to take a break in a moment. And when we come back, what are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about how this started. Like, why did we even create this program that we're talking about? And really, really look at my own desire with the impetus of it, as well as what we talked about with this 4-part system that I talked about in the description. It's called the Daily Hookup. So we'll talk more about that when we come back. Welcome back to the Empower Me Show. I'm Pam Bright. This is David Buck. He's my husband and my co-manager and co-host with this particular show, the Empower Me Show. And we are talking about the Full Body System Wellness Program, which we created to help us all, human beings, to have this commitment to being spiritual beings, having human experiences. We're all human here, as far as I know. We're all human mostly in these bodies. But actually that's a funny statement I just made, because as I evolve spiritually and energetically, what I've learned is that I am a multi-dimensional person, which means that I've got all kinds of different dimensions to choose from for my experience, which means that maybe it's not just human experience that I have. Maybe it's maybe my DNA is part reptilian. Maybe my DNA is part galactic. Maybe my DNA is part starseed. Maybe my DNA is part dragon. It's like when we get multidimensional, we let go of the divide. So we actually have the opportunity to let go of our thinking that it's got to be one way.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, perhaps evolutionarily, to be human means that we are all undergoing a process of evolution towards whatever the next stage of humanity is. And we are certainly, lifespans are longer. There's tons of measurements of how we as a species now are different than what we used to be, and will be different in the future. We're in the process of becoming that next step in our evolution right now.
Yes. Well, we could get very much into that whole conversation. And I know that there are many programs and many belief systems and many teachers about that very concept. Probably many of them are scientists and such, and would be fascinated by this conversation. And at this particular moment, what I'd like to do is not go down that rabbit hole of science, but go more into the process of creation. As I have mentioned multiple times in this program, in 2020, life was on pause. That's when it had its big pause. It started in 2019. Some people had it earlier than that, but really 2019 started the ball rolling with this big pause and reset on the planet Earth. And it definitely did that for me as an individual and as a business owner in the world. My business is actually my life purpose, my life mission in this world, which is to open people's eyes, open people's hearts, open people's conception of what it means to be human and spiritual at the same time. And so we created a program to assist with that process.
We call it the Full Body System Wellness Program because when you think about wellness, hopefully you think about health and your ability to maintain some sort of balance. And when you think about your body, well, that's easy to equate with wellness, all the diets, all the exercise, all of that. But a body system begins to denote something else. Talk about the system of connections that you've got with your community, with your spirituality, with your roots, all of that. And then when you expand upon that idea, you find that there are indeed many different body systems that you can connect to that make up you as an individual. So the fullness of it, the full body system wellness, is identifying, taking a look at, and maintaining, taking care of each of those different systems so that you can be more balanced.
That's a wonderful, eloquent way to put that. I love this partnership with my husband because he has a way of explaining things conceptually that really help with those people that need that kind of explanation. I, in the etheric, tend to be more woo-woo and I'll give you an energetic experience first before I'll give the explanation within my mouth. So it helps to have this kind of partnership with someone that knows how to articulate the concepts that I have in my own head that I want to share with you. So the other thing that I want to bring to mind with the systems is that, as I mentioned, this was birthed in 2020. And I was very aware at that time because I was being taught from different coaches and teachers and inspirational leaders about the systems in the world. And I've had this idea for quite a while that the systems were broken. The systems were breaking down. They didn't work. People weren't talking to each other. My husband and I also talked a lot about connecting dots between systems and people and organizations and ways of being in a way that brought us more together than separated us.
Yeah, the great irony of our time, and this is more commentary than we usually have, is that with all the social media, all the devices, all of the ways that we feel like we are connected through technology, there's so much commentary about that we've never been more disconnected from ourselves, each other, and what matters most. So we wanted to bring that back in. And who is to say that we can't use our technology also to assist in that recentering process?
Absolutely. And I'd be curious to know from you, the listener, how do you get back to center? I talk a lot about grounding as important. And the reason I do that personally is because I have been so out of my body. And that's an odd concept to think about, but it really has been ever since I was young. I had experiences which were not safe for me. I didn't feel safe inside of myself. And so my spirit knew that it was eternal and could exit. And so my spirit, my soul would just exit the body. And I was just a shell walking around without really knowing how to function. And so it's taken me years and years and years of process to be able to learn that it's vital for me to be in my body, in this physical self, to be able to do the work that I'm here to do. And I can absolutely help with that because I know it intimately. And since I say that, that's a big part of my life work on this planet, is to teach people how to do that. I have a lot of other gifts that I've been given through the years to be able to assist in what it means to be a spiritual being, having a human experience. And this program actually helps with what in the world does that mean? What is the human experience?
Yeah, there's I just thought of a couple of layers there's levels of consciousness. So the more you can be conscious of your own behavior, past behavior, and you want to change it to affect your future behavior, that's behavioral science. But it goes from like a layer where you look both ways to cross before you cross the street, to maintain your physical safety, to make sure that you turn off your cell phone and you avoid all distractions when you're going into a meditation, so you can just be fully present and attain that moment of silence if that's what you need. And there's all different forms of meditation. You can actually achieve a state of meditation, for instance, as I have before, in a crowded dance hall when there's loud music playing and there's people dancing all around. I've had moments of quietude there that have been rather remarkable. So there's no one right way to do it, but to take a look at again and again your levels and layers of consciousness.
So thank you for that. So something that occurred to me too is that there's this, and again, I'm not going to talk a lot about this, but I want to bring it to light. There's a challenge in this day and age with social media and all of the electronics that are being used, where focus is a big challenge for a lot of people. Our young people, our kids are having a lot of challenge with, they're experts. They're really, really knowledgeable with a lot in the world and able to use a lot of these different systems electronically. But it's also giving us a big challenge with focus and with being able to concentrate. And so some people have learned that when they have things, they now make these gadgets called fidget gadgets.
Yeah.
And it's all over the place, right? And a lot of kids are using it because they've got all this energy that they don't know what to do with. And they also are having a challenge focusing. So they need things like gadgets to be able to fuss with in order to bring, and it actually brings their focus back to what they're doing in the moment. It's crazy, but it works. So whatever you need to do in order to bring your focus from scattered and everywhere to a single point, like breathing in and out and listening to my voice, that really helps with the ability to just be here right now in this moment.
We're going to take a break in a moment, but when we come back, we're going to focus in on something Pam just talked about. We talk a lot about here. It's a simple breathing exercise that can help you get back to center and find what's important to you and to do in that moment. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Welcome back to the Empower Me Show. I'm Pam Bright. This is David Buck. And David wanted to share something about the Full Body System Wellness Program.
Well, I wanted to share one of the things that we talk about a lot on this show is simple techniques and tips that you can use to recenter yourself. And breathing, focusing on your breathing, unless you do this consciously, it's almost something we don't think about unless we have to, like gasping for air or really focusing in as a meditation technique. But at any time that you feel that you're struggling or that you're at a quandary, you don't know what to do, you can just stop, breathe focus in on your breath. Ask, send up the question, however it makes sense to you, to transmit to whoever the notion that you need help in deciding what to do. Wait for another breath to listen. And quite often you will discover that you receive that answer. It's like if you have the experience of turning on the radio at a random time and hearing that song that gives you a piece about what you're going through or what you might do, listen to that and all the other kind of little moments of intuition that you may have, because we believe the universe is speaking to you in all ways, always.
In always, always. Yes. So yes, with your breathing, the other thing to realize and know and be conscious of is, what are the times when you are scared, when you are uncertain, when you are busy, and really just check in and see those times when you have stopped breathing, or your breathing is really shallow. If you're afraid, most likely you've either stopped breathing or your breath is really short because you're afraid. So in those moments when you're afraid, or you're really excited and you're going, just stop and center. Stop and center. It actually calms your brain down so that you can focus more. So I'm going to take you through this, what I call the 4-part process, which is I call it the Daily Hookup, that I have in the program. And then David's going to share with you some ideas that he's had with it, that he actually does on a regular basis as well. We've kind of adapted it according to our own needs from day to day, but this is the simple process that I created that just kind of brings it to an easy way to feel ourselves have power. It's like it's kind of the exclamation mark at the end of a sentence to, okay, I am a spiritual being and I am a human being, and it's okay to be both. Okay. So again, we're just going to center in to this moment, feeling our breath going through our lungs, helping our digestive system, our brain, our blood, our hearing, our smelling, tasting, feeling, every part of us centering in. And allow yourself to consider that as a spiritual being, you are connected to what's called your higher self. That's that part of you that is wise. That is that part of you that knows. That is that part of you that connects to your intuition, that gut feeling, that knows that it knows that it knows. Doesn't have to figure it out, doesn't have to guess. It just knows. It's that wise one within you. And allow that wise one within you from your gut instinct to bubble up through your body, and imagine that it's right above your head, like a ball of light. That is considered your higher self. So it connects to the essence of Creator, of God, of a Godhead, of Source. That is your higher self. That is something that you can connect to on a regular basis every day. It is one avenue for connecting to something outside of your physical essence, this robotic human existence. Then we look at light. We look at your connection to light, and we look at the vessel that you are as a human being and the essence of your central nervous system within your spine. Your central nervous system informs all of the different parts of your body. Every system in your body is connected to a nerve center, which is connected to your brain. Your brain sends the signals to the nerves, and the nerves inform your body of how to function. Within that central nervous system, we bring light. The light within you that is connected to the light within the God source. And that God source is connected to your higher self. So we bring the pillar of light into our consciousness. And when we connect to this pillar of light and we connect it to the higher self, which is connected to the higher wisdom, it brings into our physical self more light for every single system within it. And then we can bring that light all the way through our entire bodies to connect to the earth. And I do this on a regular basis, on a daily basis. I connect it like a circuit breaker that's going to turn on, and that brings all of my body parts, all of my body system online. Then the next piece that we look at is connecting into, you can do this in any way that you want to. It doesn't have to be one first and then the next one and the next one. You can actually change them up. But I then connect to my spirit team, my guides, teachers, and angels. So this is, again, is a way that I do this, and I have worked with this for many years. So I can teach you if you're uncertain, but it's really calling in your spiritual guidance. So I have a system and a process that I do that, and I simply ask. Creator of all that is, I now ask that all of my spirit teams, all of my guides, teachers, and angels that work with me on my behalf and assist me in being a spiritual being, having a human experience, come in now. And I ask them to work with every single system in my body so that I can be fully on, fully present, fully in my power right now. And then the fourth piece is looking at the chakra system. We all have a chakra system. It's spinning wheels of light that are energy centers within the body that, again, connect to every system in the physical body. And they are connected holographically from the front of us all the way through to the back of us and through the body, connecting to the spine. And you can look at that system of the chakras. If you look at the Indian tradition, they are, and the yogic tradition, look and see what they say about the chakra system. But you can clear and clean every single one of the chakras. There's 7 in the physical body. Just spin them the opposite direction. So think of about a clock and the way that it moves. Go backwards with the clock, spinning, 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 spinning with every chakra in the body, and then spin it the right way, the correct way, forward, forward, forward. And that clears and cleans the chakra system. That's my 4-part harmony, as David calls it, the 4-part harmony, or the 4-part daily hookup that I do on a daily basis to give me this sense of purpose, this sense of power, this sense of being in control with my mission on this planet.
Control is an interesting word because, control is an illusion, something that is commonly thought. And it's also something that we instinctively seek. And I think it's more instinctive than we would like to admit, perhaps. But it's and then also, especially in today's world, things can seem so out of control. So to find some control about your emotions, your consistency, your habits, and yet you also have a greater control of all those things than perhaps you've realized. So we talk about the 4-part harmony. I think it's important to find something that works for yourself. Look for, we talk about spiritual aids like crystals, like spirit cards, like instruments, like spiritual groups. There's so many different ways to access special symbols, and many people in the world find a lot of spiritual connection with crosses or circles, and really some simple shapes. But find something that works for you, and build a habit around it. And you could wear a necklace maybe with that symbol.
There we go. Two
so
necklaces.
So that you always have that connection available, and you can hold it if you need to in moments of need. It's important that I think if there's one thing that all of us share, is that we are individuals. And it's important, especially as some factions of the world try to divide us and say, well, if you're of any other type than us, then you're different. You should be shunned. You should be canceled. It's not okay to do that. All of that kind of talk, but yet we are individuals. So to honor ourselves first as individuals, we may not be able to change society in that way. But the more people, the more individuals who treat themselves first as individuals, the closer we get to embracing that more as a whole.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. So a couple of the things that I thought of as you were talking is one of the things that I've said for years, and I really believe this, is that there are more tools than you can even imagine for support in the world. And when I say support, there was quite a while when I would ask people what kind of support they're getting. And they would look at me like, what are you talking about? They couldn't even conceive of what I meant. What I mean is, you are not alone. You may feel like you're alone in the world, but you are not alone. You, as an individual on this planet, have amazing, amazing, amazing help that is at your fingertips. I believe that you don't ever have to struggle in the world. That's a belief that I have. And for the most part, I don't. But I know people that do. And what I have done in my life to allow myself to be in this position of experiencing life fully with support is that I ask a lot for help. And it's not always easy. It's uncomfortable sometimes. It feels awkward. I feel kind of like I'm out of my mind asking for help for simple things. But you know what? I can breathe easier because I've asked. And when I ask for assistance, I get it. It might not be instant, but I get it.
Yeah, I think that you'll find that more that you bring in habits that support you, especially at stopping and breathing and asking for the answers that you need, you'll find that you get it quicker and quicker. We're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we'll be talking a little bit more about how you can use the 4-part harmony and other spiritual practices in your life.
We'll be Welcome back to the Empower Me Show with Pam Bright and David Buck. We're talking about the Full Body System Wellness Program and what we developed back in 2020 with the program. It's really our signature program, which assists you in taking inventory of your life, where it's been going, how has it been, and where it wants to go next. We give you lots of tools, tips, and techniques for assisting you in assessing, where you are right now. Because I think that, well, I learned actually in the 12-step program called Alcoholics Anonymous, how to look within myself and assess what I've been doing in my life. Has it been working? Has it not been working? What's been missing? And that's what we do with the full body system wellness program, is we give you help with, what's been going on as a human being, what's been challenging, what habits are not working anymore. And then we look at the spiritual tools that we have created throughout our lives, and giving you some ideas of what you can implement for yourself. And then you have some homework if you want to do that as well. And if you are interested in this type of self-study, we can get you set up with that. Just go to the empowermeshow@gmail.com to get more information on how to purchase that.
You can also go to fullbodysystemwellness.com to learn more about the program.
Great. Yeah, it will tell you more about that. You can also contact us, I believe, from there as well. We are always available to you if you want to talk, if you need assistance. I'm a life coach, so I can help you with your goals and your dreams, getting yourself on track with your vision and purpose, healing modalities. David is also available if you want a male perspective on that. Just let us know by going to the empowermeshow@gmail.com. If you want to know more about the different things that I do with Bright Butterfly Enterprises, go to brightbutterflyenterprises.com and we can assist you with that as well. So we haven't done a live show in a while, so I was thinking next week would be great for that. We are
call-in show.
Yeah, call-in show. We're doing Spirit Partners for Life next week. And so with that, as Spirit Partners, we are always available for you. And so if you would like to get a male or female perspective on your life and partnering with either spirit or with a physical human and would like to get some assistance with that, we are all about it. So
you can email ahead of time at theempowermeshow@gmail.com, or you could just call in. We'll give the number out next week, but you can also find it on the Transformation Talk Radio website. I don't want to forget to, we're not ending just yet, but I want to give a quick shout out to the production team at Transformation Talk Radio. They do an amazing job, not just for us, but for many other types of shows. And if you haven't explored what else is out there, you might take a look and see if there's something that feels a need for you. And really what we encourage you to do is find what works for you. Find something that is going to serve you and lift you up and take you out of the places where you get stuck, or the places that you might be allowing other people to, stop you.
yes, you never have to be stopped in life. You always get a new choice in every moment. And so if you're going through something right now that is scary, that is uncertain, that is unpredictable, then support is necessary. Okay. You never have to do it alone. So know that we are always here for you. This is my mission. This is what I'm here for, is to serve. And so I encourage you to reach out either to me, to David, to the Empower Me Show, to another friend of yours, to a church, something, YouTube, whatever it is, a book, just allow yourself to be supported in this moment, because it can be a tough life. It can be tough to be human in this world right now. So know that you are absolutely loved in every moment, and that I definitely, and I'm sure David as well, will allow ourselves to be available to you, to the planet, to humanity, and really to the earth herself, so that you can live your own empowered life.
So thank you very much for joining us today on the Empower Me show. And we have just another minute or two left here. What would you like to say? It's still a fairly new year. Here we are in the middle of January 2022, and we're still hoping to have a happy new year, not just at the first part of the year, but something that lasts all year long. So what would you encourage people to carry with them for the year that contains some of that energy?
Well, this is a 6 year. So I'm starting to bring numbers into my work now. And what I'm aware of with the number 6 is that it's a lot about partnership and family. And so I have started using this crystal, which is a double quartz crystal. They are very connected here. And so it's my reminder that I can partner with you. I can partner with my husband. I can partner with my child. I can partner with spirit. I can partner with anything that supports me. And I invite you to do the same. Look at your relationships this year. Look at what you're putting up with. Look at what you're no longer willing to accept.
Yeah, and I'm going to add something to that, which is, and again, it's said in so many different ways, just because something has gone the way that it has gone before doesn't mean it needs to continue to go that way. And you can do something about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It is an uncertain world, unpredictable, and every moment you can choose your reactions. You can choose what you're going to feel, what you're going to do. You may be feeling afraid and take action anyway. And especially if you're in a position of feeling afraid, and it might be a dangerous situation for you that you're in, know that you can get support. Okay. Don't hide out. Don't have your addictions take you over. This is a year of breakthrough. I encourage you, let yourself be available for a miracle this year.
Thank you for joining us, and have a great day.
We love you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Empower Me Show with Pam Bright on Transformation Talk Radio. Tune in to learn more about living a fully empowered life. Remember that your life is up to you, and you can choose the spiritual path you are on. There is spiritual energy and wisdom in everything and everyone around you. Listen carefully for what the universe is trying to tell you in every moment. You are already being guided along your journey. Call upon your spirit guides anytime you need help with anything. Know that you are safe in every moment, even if it seems that you are not. For more information about Pam Bright, visit brightbutterflyenterprises.com or email theempowermeshow@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening. We hope to see you next week.